I'm a little tired, y'all, so y'all gotta excuse me. I am really a little tired, but I just have to talk about this. I just have to keep talking about this. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, how's everybody doing? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for hitting the like button as you enter in. Oh, I'll take this off on of it because I'm getting ready to get upstairs, get in my bed, take a nice hot shower, and go to bed. I had such a busy day today. I really did. But it was an interesting day. It was a very interesting day. When you have to do what you got to do to help society and to also help people to be a little bit more conscious about things. This ain't been an easy discussion for me. No, it hasn't. Because I feel all kind of different. I mean, emotions is coming from all different places with me on this whole thing that's been going on and has been trending, and a lot of people are really trying to figure this whole thing out, wrap this whole thing around their head about the Astro World Fest and about Travis Scott and his relationship with Kylie, the Kardashians. But I ain't thinking about them people right now. Them people. But the thing is, I'm thinking about right now is about young as Ezra Blunt is the little boy's name. I know God got him in his kingdom. I just know he do. God sometimes, whether we want to believe it or not, as Christians and as believers, that sometimes when we don't take care of the gifts God give us properly, God have to snatch them back. You know. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Cherise. Hey, how you doing? Yes, God has to snatch them back. This stuff been played out to us so much in society. Like, I'm talking about society in a whole. Yesterday, of course, I got up yesterday morning, and like I said, I haven't been at worship since this past summer. I have really not stepped my foot into my church. Hey, yes, continue to keep praying for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can always use prayer. Always use prayer. I can't turn prayer down. Pray prayer, not Prey. But anyway, like I haven't stepped any foot in my church since um I would say like around late August sometime, a little bit before late August. It feels like a migraine. It hurts. I know it do. Let me go get my glasses, y'all, because I'm squinting my eyes. Where did I put my glasses? Let me go get my glasses. Yes. So now I can see better. I can see what everybody's saying in the chat a whole lot better. Yes. So like I was saying and everything, I'm trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. I'm trying to, really get people to think beyond the surface and get more deeper into all this that took place with Travis Scott and his the World Fest. I mean the Astro I'm talking about the World Fest, the Astro Fest that he had out in the park. So I'm just listening to a lot of everybody's little stories, and emotions are very high right now. Emotions are high. People were lost. Families are hurting right now. That stampede was just so unnecessary. And the more I listen to what everybody else got to say, besides going on my own understanding about things, that fest should have never took place. Not in a time like this, not during a COVID when people should be playing safe. And I'm not only just saying safe as far as with your health and with your, your health, I would say, and also with public safety, whatever. I'm also talking about economically as well, because that all works in together for society. We are right now in inflations because since the COVID took place and everything, I noticed that things went high on, in the stores. Like you used to buy certain things for, even for a bag of potato chips, like a party bag of potato chips now is hitting you like $6 in your pocket, or maybe even more, depending on where you live. But prices on the market, people right now, your mortgage and everything, it's probably locked in or whatever. An apartment, the rates on apartment renting and everything else like that has went up. The rentals have went up. Car rentals have went up as well. It's just everything is just on, and everything is just on a high right now. So anyway, moving on, like I was saying, there's 50,000 plus people that supposedly showed up at this fest, and this crowd got buck wild. I would just say got crazy. And some of the things I was upset about with Travis, because I'm saying, Travis, why would you even, you know, agree to be out on stage, knowing that you get rowdy fans, knowing that most people that come to your concerts, they like to, jump out of trees, jump off of ledges, and do crazy things, and when you get concerts and stuff, you got people out here shooting up, doing drugs, selling drugs, people out here getting caught up in traffic jams, accidents, trying to get out of you know, I would say some kind of like circle or whatever, trying to get into a circle to get into the traffic, whatever. Anything could go wrong. When you're talking about a big celebrity, a somebody that's really, really is popular with the rap music with young people, and people just been in quarantine, and people just want to get out and have fun, and things are open, it's just things just get crazy. So, well, anyway, like I said, for him to had a 50 something concert at a fest in Houston, Texas, and he's a Houston born, Houston, Texas dude. I did some research on him to find out more about his real name is Jaquise Benson Webster or something like that, the second. Um, he doesn't really use his real name in his performance or whatever. Just like R. Kelly don't use his whole full name, his name, but he still use his name because he uses R. Kelly, which is Robert. He just don't use the middle name. His name is Robert, so R. Kelly is his name. You know what I'm saying? But as far as this dude, um, Travis Scott, he uses a name that is totally alias. Okay, he uses a totally alias name. So as I was reading up on a lot of stuff about him, this young rapper, well, not young, 30-year-old man. He's a man. He's grown. He's a grown adult man. That's an adult. Okay. And he marketing himself with this rap image, and out here doing the things that he's doing. And most of the time, a lot of these rappers don't come from that type of background that they seem to be out here promoting to people. And that's why I said it's so important to do your research on people when they come out, and you look up to them. Not look up to them, but you admire them. Put it that way. I'll just say use the word admire. I wouldn't even say idolize or whatever, but you admire them. Like I admired R. Kelly. It's a lot of things about R. Kelly as a child born from our generation, both of us coming from the same generation, and him and me both born in the same month, and we both under the same astrology, same signs, and everything else like that. I'm a Capricorn. He also is a Capricorn, and I'm just saying, like a lot of stuff that I have in common with R. Kelly. Only thing we different about is our sex. I'm a female, he's a male, and maybe our home life or whatever like that. He grew up in a single parent household with his mom and his brothers. I grew up in a household where it was like a nuclear family. I had my mom, my dad, I had my sisters, my brothers, and also other relatives in the family that, people that became part of the family, the community, or whatever, that supported my mother and helped my mother out with us. The community was involved in our lives, and blah, 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 blah. We had went through our struggles, our hardship, whatever, whatever. But one thing that was pushed very much in the home that we lived in was, one, first of all, knowing God was the head of our life. God was one of the most important things we had to learn as a child growing up, knowing that one day mommy and daddy's not going to be here anymore. And mommy and daddy also entrusted us to be in the hands of other family members who were religious people to also help us in our spirituality and in our growth. My mother did not pick what denomination we should choose. My mother did allow us to visit other denominations. My mom even opened the door one time and even allowed the Jehovah Witnesses. And nothing against the Jehovah Witnesses. I'm just gonna put it out there because I know some people they grew up on that faith and da 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 da. But my mother sometimes she just wanted us to learn more about religion, to see where we really feel happy at, what really worked for us. She didn't push, my mother grew up in a Methodist, as a Methodist and born Baptist, whatever. My dad was a 7 days Adventist, but his family and everything, they broke out of that faith and they went into other different denominations. But Pentecostal, Baptist, whatever, in the black churches or whatever, in the black religions, black people practicing religions and stuff like that. So I remained staying with my mother's side of the people who were more Methodist. They were AME, African Methodist Episcopal people, because that's where I felt more um where I received my first love in the Lord at. And that's where I felt more acceptable at, knowing that I would be walking around with this African face. I would say African from the dark continent and have these broad features that I do have, my African features or whatever. I looked at all of that stuff about me. Okay, about me. And my father let it be known as well. He didn't he never looked at it in a way. Probably that's probably why I'm so confident about it, because my parent always made me look up to it and see it as beauty, and this is what God has created. And my father put that in me. I swear to you not. My dad did it. But anyway, moving on in my discussion. I just wanted to just share that with you guys. But moving on in my discussion, we've been through a lot too. My mother, children, we all been through a lot. And if it wasn't for the Lord on our side, where would we be? We all here today. Today was my sister and my brother's birthday. I don't know if you look back early, I wanted to celebrate my brother's birthday. My sister and him both was born on the same day, but different years. They about 3 or so years apart, or 4 years apart, but the whole family's over there celebrating. My other two of my other sisters, my brother and my sister, is like three of my sisters and my brother. They celebrating it as a family, and we was all, and then me, and that's why I say my day. I'm so tired because after work and all this discussion about all this other stuff, I had a birthday virtual celebration with my family today, with my brother and my sister for their birthday. And the cash app going out there, and all this other stuff. Happy birthday, bro. What you want me to do? What you want me to? I'm gonna give you this. Christmas is coming near, so for Christmas I got another something for you to come, and blah blah blah. And then my other sister that was staying here with me for a while, her birthday is next week. So I'm just like celebrating life right now. I'm so full of life right now, just so happy and so thankful in the season of Thanksgiving for my loved ones. We lost somebody, but I'm glad the sister that we just lost her daughter. She's up in good spirits, and her family is around there, and everybody's having a good time and everything. My niece and them are calling. Everybody's calling from everywhere else in the states that they live in, calling to wish them both happy birthday, and it was just so beautiful. But anyway, so moving on, and what I wanted to come here and talk about today is I'm talking about Astro World, Travis Scott, aka Jacques Benson Webster II. I know that he wasn't raised to be the person he out here promoting himself to be, this thug or thugged out like he is, and um selling this image to the black community and to other people out in the world, whatever, that celebrates his music, that loves his music. And you have a right to choose and pick whoever you like to choose and pick. Like I love to listen to Robert R. Kelly. And then when my favorite artist was in the trouble that he got in, I was feeling really disgusted about some of the comments I would read about what people would say about him and tear him down about and judge him about or whatever, looking back at his past. And they still doing it, but now things toned down a little bit. Stuff is starting to, like spur up again, but I'm just trying to not get into all of that stuff right now. Um, with the Tasha K interview with what's his name, with his brother Carrie, and And even with this other dude, what is his name? Don Russell. Okay. Don Russell. I'm not getting into all of that because nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. You know what I'm saying? The relationship he had with his brother. We know that there was some problems going on in that relationship with family, and we all go through that. And I think I discussed that before in the past, and I don't really want to discuss it again. I'm just going to leave let bygones be bygones. That's between Robert Sylvester Kelly and his brother. I'm not. That's his family. I'm not getting all into all of that, wrapped up into all of that stuff. So I didn't take no interest in listening to listening to the interviews or anything. Maybe later on, I'll probably look at it, but I'm not really interested in discussing whether and call and carry out and this, that, the other. Because I did see him go to his brother's trial and he be out there to support his brother and trying to work this thing through and what he said and trying to talk about the things he did say that did put his brother in the mess that he in and the things he lied about or whatever. So I'm just gonna let that be leave that where it is for now. But it's going back to Astro World again. I hope I could get to it. Wish I could get to it. People are going at Travis like, oh, and even myself, he should pay for everybody's death that died there at the concert for inciting riots and violence and da 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 da. Da. And then I looked at the fact that he did pause for a minute and he saw somebody was down and he did say that someone was down. Could y'all please come? He's like, y'all get away. Don't, get out of the way, get out of the way so they could get the person out, whatever. They could get in and help this person or whatever. And then he went back and performing or whatever. But when I look back at that, and then I said, wait a minute. I remember when R. Kelly trial was going on, all the manipulation with media, all the lies. They show you what they want to show you. Only people that know what really, really went on was the people who really were there. Now, some people looking for a payday. You know what I'm saying? And some people saying Travis told people to come to the concert and do all of this stuff. He told the people to crowd up the place and get there and full up the house or whatever. I don't know if he meant it intentionally that he meant for that to be. Or people be just like all up and high, up in spirit, like yeah, y'all coming, y'all full of places. If you ain't got no tickets, just rush right on in. And you know how they advertise and they tell you what to do. And you got some stupid, simple-minded people that will play into all of that stuff, that will do just that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever meant intentionally for anybody life to be hurt, harmed, or anybody life to be taken. Even the people he invited to tell them to come in and do blase blase. I don't think he actually would think people will come in and do stuff like this. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I've never been to his concerts. The only concerts I ever been to in my life, like I said, is I've been out, small events, whatever, to see the OJs, Earth, Wind and Fire, and the Isley Brothers. They were playing in Radio City Music Hall. I bought tickets because I worked for a company. I used to be able to get those kind of tickets before. And I've been to Jill Scott. I supported her when she came out. I believe I've been to also Lauren Hill. I love her music. I've been to support her when she was blowing up. Lauren Hill. I've been to Jill Scott, Lauren Hill, and Erica Badu. I went to Erica Badu, and I've been to, let me see. Of course, everybody know R. Kelly, or I wouldn't be here. I've been to like 4 of his concerts, whatever. No, nothing rowdy ever took off. Nothing ever popped off like that. People left. It was, you got a crowd, but you ain't getting no crazy, crazy stuff like we witnessed last 2 weeks ago, a week ago or so. We didn't get stuff like that. People coming in and going crazy and hurting people and stomping on people and killing people kids. You never get no mess like that at our R. Kelly concert or any of the concerts that I had attended in my lifetime. And I haven't started attending concerts until I was a grown ass woman. Now my older siblings and them, they have been to the Jackson 5 and all that stuff. I've never been to a Michael Jackson concert. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I ain't never been to a Janet Jackson concert. I ain't gonna sit here and lie, but I have watched them on MTV or whenever they was filming them and everything. I got to see them on TV, but I ain't never been to none of their concerts. And I love me some Michael Jackson. Yes, I did. And some Janet Jackson. I'm telling you right now, I love to see her perform. I love to see Michael Jackson perform, but I have never been to those kind of concerts where there's a lot of energy like that. You know, when some people just can't, when they can't help themselves when they see a celebrity or they see their idol or they faint and fall out or they act crazy. And I ain't never been. Only concert I think there was when I was a teenager that I did go to, and that was because it was in Central Park and it was free and I just went out for the fun for the summer or whatever. That was when Diana Ross was throwing her little free concert. And even then, I didn't see too much wilding out going on. I heard about it on the news later on in the evening, but it wasn't like no real crazy, crazy stuff, you know? Not like this. I mean, they had crazy people. People in jail went to jail. They was robbing people and doing all kind of stuff, drugs and all kind of stuff. They was getting busted for doing out there in the park or whatever. Central Park is a big park in New York, and there's always something going on, whether it's a concert there going on or not. Just things be going on. Okay, criminal things be going on, drug deals and people meet in the park to do certain things and whatever. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, um, I don't think Travis intentionally meant to, and I'm just coming clean with my heart. I don't think Travis intentionally meant to harm anybody or see anyone get harmed or meant that. I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm changing it because of the fact that I went to see more and more and hear more and more people. Now with this last one of this Ezra Blunt young man dying at this concert, I fully held the mother. I mean, not the mother because it is no mother's mentioned there, but I fully hold the father responsible for that, and I stand on it for real. If I had a 9-year-old child that enjoyed listening to Travis Scott music, and I know the music is kind of like not appropriate for children, there's no way I would have took my 9-year-old in an environment like that. I would not do anything. I want my child to stay a child as long as they can. I would have probably took them to something like what cartoon, maybe Patrol Pole or whatever. Some silly stuff like that. Like you sometimes go see the chipmunks on ice or something, you know? Like I used to take my nieces and nephews every year to the Christmas spectacular. Now something went off like that, something like that. My child gets stampeded and stomped on at a chipmunk or whatever, something like that. I'm just going back in something like I would think of a child being at. Then I would have to say I will hold the people who sponsor this child event responsible, and also the people, the promoters and the organizers or whatever. I mean, not even the organizer, I would say. Well, whatever, all the people that's involved, like that do the events and everything, that was all engaged in this event. Yeah, I could hold them responsible if it was a child type of thing for children. Yes. And I took my child to that place, and my child ended up being some kind of overbooking, and people started getting crazy and wild, and my child ended up getting dying, and I ended up myself losing control and falling out myself. Then I would hold the person who did this or the whatever responsible. But for Travis, for these people behavior, some of these people behavior, you can't really hold him responsible for everybody's behavior that was there. Because some people, from what I understand, when this festival was going on, Travis was probably one of the last people. Excuse me. It was a festival. So Travis was like one of the last performers. He was the main ingredient and performer, but there was other, performance going on, other things going on. And this was like an all day thing. They all putting it all. Now I understand what people saying. You can't put it all on Travis, because some of the people that was already at the event, the place was, these people weren't people that was supposed to stay at the event. They weren't supposed to be there. They wasn't supposed to stay. But when they found out it was going to be this big performance with Travis or whatever Scott there, that's when they bombarded the place. That's when they surged the place. It got overcrowded and people came in and stayed, and they wasn't supposed to be there. They didn't have no tickets to be there. This is what I heard from one of the people who isn't supporting Travis. Hey, Michael, how are you? I'm glad to see you, Michael. So these were some people that just stayed, straggly, some people that just was hanging around. They knocked over barricades and everything, and they broke their way in, and they started stomping on people, and they just bullied their way inside the concert, the festival, whatever. And that's when it got out of control because there was other things going on other than Travis Scott. So this whole story with this father being at the Travis Scott concert, I'm glad I'm know the investigation is still going on. If he brought his son there to go see Travis Scott, he's held responsible for that. And like I say in my earlier video, if Travis Scott want to do the human thing, I'm glad you're doing very well, Michael. And if Travis Scott wants to do the human thing, say, look, I'm gonna pay for the cost of these funerals, just so I can show my love. I mean, my whatever for the loss of these people, so I could do my part. I was there. My name was on the show, whatever, whatever, and I'm just gonna do the human thing to do and help pay. And I'm gonna just lay low for a while until this investigation is all over with. And I think that's the right thing to do. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people just looking for a paycheck, looking for money for grievance and all this other stuff and the loss of their loved ones. Probably didn't even treat them right when they was alive. You ever thought about that? Your relatives, sometimes they don't love you until you're dead and gone. And they and you don't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? See, I know what I deal with from time to time. Sometimes with family members, but cuss you out today and dogged you out and dragged your name all over to the family and dragged your name all over here and said all kind of bad and horrible things about you. Never know when death comes like a thief in the night. So you tell your loved ones you love them, even when things are not going so well with y'all. Even though the conversation sometimes y'all don't agree on things, just say I still love you. I didn't tell that to my sister. She said that to me the other day. But my sister knows I love her because we had a little dispute about something, but we be all right. God knows my heart, and He knows where it came from. Always give it to God. But I'm just saying, holding on to hate and madness and anger and wanting to, get back at somebody or whatever, this, that, the other. But I'm just saying, as far as for Travis Scott going through this situation right now, the best thing for him to do is don't say nothing. Don't even come to the public. Let them talk. Let them run their mouth. They putting everything on him. Yesterday they was praising his music. Travis Scott is da 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 da. They wouldn't even been at his concert if they wasn't really all that about him. Now all of a sudden now they trying to tear him down and say he did this and he's responsible for that. And Travis did this. Well, you shouldn't have been at his concert. You know what I'm saying? Stay your ass home. This is COVID. That's how I feel. Shit. Did you support somebody one day and now you're tearing them down today? Come on. Either you with them or you're not with them. I'm not a fan and I'm here not defending him, but just trying to see both sides of things. It's really trying to see both sides. Sometimes I'm a little upset with Travis because I said Travis, did something that he wasn't paying attention to and he wasn't thinking clear about. And I seen him promoting, sitting on platforms high. Yes, and I'm not a hateful person. I know what you're saying, Michael. I'm not a hateful person. I don't hate him. I just was angry with him. And then him running around with those Kardashians. I just like those women don't set a very good image for young women, period, in general. And brothers, why we always gotta, I mean, brothers, why we black men, y'all gotta get it together. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, ugh, it's just like a slap in the face. Sisters be like, dang, we be out here fighting for y'all, going hard for y'all. And then when y'all get y'all shit and y'all make it to the world, y'all don't even look at us. Y'all don't even want to be with us. Y'all just want to be with the others, whatever, whatever. Beauty is fleeting. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you gotta like wise up like everybody else. Why so we could rise up. You know what I'm saying? Wise up so we could rise up. you know? But like I'm saying and everything, Travis better get a paternity test. And even if he do get a paternity test, they probably pay the doctor to say the child is his anyway. So he probably don't know how to get his way out of this one. I'm still trying to look at the kids, and I don't get too much of a look at the child, since I've been looking to see if that child have any of his feet, looking at him and looking at the child, see if I see any attributes of physical attributes or anything of Travis. Everybody want to make pretty little babies. You know what I'm saying? If that's what it's all about. Blood don't lie though. One way or the other, the truth is gonna pop up some way or the other. The way these women run around and everything. You better be checking yourself, making sure it's yours. Like that song Michael Jackson says, Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl. Just said I am the one. But the kid is not my son. you know? And then what's that song? It must be mine. It might be mine. Not sure, but it might be mine. I did sleep with her, but it might be mine. It's definitely mine. You know what I'm saying? The way them doggone Kardashian women be swinging around with black men and be trying to get y'all money and be taking y'all money and getting y'all all kind of caught up in bullshit. And they got fathers that's attorneys that been pimping their ass in the entertainment world, been pimping their daughters and shit. Pimp them out. Okay. Get pimped them out. I don't buy none of them damn makeup cosmetic products. I stick with my Mary Kay, or I go and get me some Revlon or some shit. If they do Revlon, the only thing I did Revlon for is because my sister Queen Latifah was out there selling the Revlon shit. She was marketing for Revlon, but I ain't buying it. If I see any of them marketing any of that shit, I'm done. Okay. If they market at any of the brands that I probably get at Walgreens and little cosmetic stores and stuff like that, I see they got their names on any of that shit, I am not buying it. I am not buying it. I don't like the way they market women. I don't like the way they sell the ratchet lifestyle that they have. They high class low lives, if you ask me. And some beautiful, great, strong, decent sisters out there in the music entertainment world, and they overlooked for that trash. You better wise up so we can rise up. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all, I just saying, as far as for Travis Scott getting blamed for everything, I'm with the people. He ain't responsible for everything. But there's some accountability, but not everything, not the death of everybody there, because some of them people didn't have to act the way they did, and they didn't have to do what they was doing. And I heard people was out there, drugs and everything. People was getting pricked. The guy said somebody was pricking him with a needle. Somebody pricked him with a freaking syringe or whatever like that. So that could be true. It's a lot of people said that. Somebody was out there doing something. It's a concert. It's a festival. These drug dealers, everybody came out to get paid, make their money, and flip their bills or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what they got to do to survive after the pandemic and all that prices and jacking and anything else like that. People out here are really going through some hard shit. The stimulus checks they got and everything, that shit didn't really help out as much, because everything they gave you, prices went 3 times higher to buy shit that you might have needed to survive on for until this whole thing, the market was under control and the money was under the economy kind of under control. Yeah, everything was just off messy. It's still a mess out here. People doing what they got to do. I'm telling you. So for everybody looking, oh, Travis Scott gonna be there. They just came. They ain't probably come for him. They came for the money. They came to say, oh, I'm gonna have an accident, like the dude that jumped off the balcony in New York, and the one jumped out of the tree, but he wasn't really severely injured. But the one that did jump off the balcony, that dude is freaking paralyzed for life, and he ain't getting shit. Because Jefferson tell his ass he's a dumbass for jumping. People do anything just so they can injure themselves at something and everything, and then they want to sue. But it's going to be a long wait on that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a long wait on that. Don't think that this parent that's sitting up there talking about Travis is responsible for his child dying and him losing his breath and getting squashed and his child falling off of him and getting stampeded and everything. That story is definitely going to be that. Sometimes it's like perfect murder. And I hate to put it out there like that. the perfect murder, like people sacrifice their children and everything so their kids could die and they could get some money on a life insurance policy or something. People do some really strange shit. Okay, some strange shit. They kill their own goddamn children for some money. Profits over people. Profits over lives. You gotta be like, a 9-year-old Travis Scott. Da 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 da. Benjamin Crump is up there. Well, this day, that old country boy. He up there every time. Like just like I was listening to Viral Asset or somebody that has the blog or whatever on his thing last night, and he said Benjamin Scott, he be like, what? That happened? Boom, 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 boom. Yo, y'all better start making some phone calls. We got to get out there now. He Benjamin Crump. Al Sharpton taught him well. He part of the the Black National Action Network or whatever, some shit with Al Sharpton and all that. You know how to pimp the damn the black tragedies or whatever you want to call it. All the black, everything somebody dead, dying, they black, they gonna get this fucking shit going. They gonna try to make some money. So anyway, I'm not going to even stay too much longer on this, but I just wanted to just say my part in all of this stuff going on and how Travis Scott is in my sincere prayers right now. And before I didn't want to pray for him, but God came to my heart and talked to me like, come on now, you don't feel that way about your own brother now, your people. Young man didn't know, certain things he couldn't see. And you got to be your brother and your sister's keeper. Regardless to the flaws that they may have, you still got to forgive and sometimes just let it go with God. Because it can happen to anyone. We sometimes, I don't know if he puts out good music. I'm not a rap person, Michael, but if you enjoy his music, that's cool. I'm not at that age where I listen to stuff like that. I don't listen to, if I do listen to it, because I have young people in my family that listen to me, but I got to educate them about it as well. And I have to tell them, this ain't cool. You ain't been raised like that. Don't you go out here acting like that. Don't you be trying to be no doggone Travis Scott. Be you and set an example of your life that you have at home. And you don't have that kind of life at home. We don't do that up in here, okay? In this family. Well, I did try to tell that to one of my nephews, and he went out there and see what happened to him. But but he tried to clean it up in the end. He was about the same age as Travis when he died, about 30. Not that Travis is dead or anything, but I'm just saying, like, you try to tell them, don't be imitating, nothing like that. And I know Travis' parents right now, because he do have parents, his mother and his father. Okay, they were married. They didn't have him out of wedlock. That's why I said I had to pull that shit out about him and that Kylie or whatever, playing house or whatever the hell they doing, making babies and talking about they engaged. Don't you think you're supposed to be? First of all, Kylie, your ass could use. You got so much damn money. There's no way you can't tell me you couldn't afford birth control to protect not having a child until y'all were married. Come on, who you trying to play games with? I'm looking out for this young brother here. Okay, that's all. I'm looking out for him like if he is my brother. My blood brother. And I see your little fucking game, okay? I see the fucking game, Kylie. You fucking the Kardashian bitches. Excuse my language because I'm getting mad now. I see the game. I see what you trying to do to the brother. All right? Yes, I am my brother's keeper. Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. Love you. You all have a blessed night. Let me go take my shower, get up in my bed before my hubby get home. All right? Love you. Peace. Right, Michael? I feel you and your knowledge as far as teaching your family and nephews on this. Yes, and teaching you too. So you all be blessed. Love you. Peace.